everyone. I've been upset had you said I look like I just graduated in May, but yours was fine. It was good. So they say when public speaking, it's best to picture the audience in their underwear to feel comfortable, but like Kelly, I think I'm best in my Speedo. So if you could all picture me in my Speedo, that would make this process so much easier. No, but fortunately for you all, you don't need to do that, because I've never met a microphone I didn't like. So get comfortable. This could be long. You know, I got swept up in this whole experience, and it has felt absolutely humbling and amazing. I was back on campus yesterday, and it has this way of making you feel 21 again. So in being swept up in that, I went back to practice, and I got in with the team. And you know, nothing makes you feel like a 21-year-old like practicing with them. And nothing takes the wind out of your sails more than waking up the next day and realizing you're not 21, and a lot of things hurt the next day. But I've survived, and I'm here, and I've gotten through it. And you know, it has been absolutely a great experience, and I certainly couldn't have done it alone. You know, diving may be seen as an individual sport, but it certainly takes a village. In some cases, for me, an angry group of angry villagers, but nonetheless, there are a lot of people who I need to take a few minutes to thank, because they were instrumental in not only helping raise me and bring me up, but also in helping to make me the person that I am today. The first person I want to thank is my high school diving coach, Brian Wright. He's a fellow Allegheny Gator. He couldn't be here today. His son had some hockey games. But really, Brian deserves a Purple Heart or whatever award you get for being injured in the line of duty or in tough situations, because he dealt with the 14 to 17-year-old me, which wasn't always a fun experience. But what Brian taught me was a lot of patience. You know, with one head nod during a meet, he could calm me down and make sure that I stayed focused on the task at hand, which was really great as I went into my senior year at States. It was my last chance to win the state championships, and when they posted the diving list, I was marked 1 to start the meet, and I like to dive last. So to avoid a full-on Chernobyl meltdown, Brian pulled me off to the side, looked me in the eye, and said, "Just keep the number 1 in front of your name all day, and it'll be easy." And I was like, okay, I can do that. So as I went into the last round of diving, I looked over at him for the traditional head nod, because he was keeping track of scores, and he was more nervous than I was. And it was my turn to give him the head nod and let him know, we're going to win. I've got this. And we did, and I broke the record. So just jot that down. Moving on, where Kelly and I really built our friendship was at Team Pitt under Julian Krug, who's the coach at University of Pittsburgh. And the great thing that Julian gave us was exposure. It's not enough to just be the state champion and be the best in your little area. So the thing that I got from that was to continue to work as though somebody out there could just be better than you. And because of that, I really think that we elevated ourselves. And he really pushed us to be the best that we could be, which is largely part why we're receiving this award today. Up next were my college coaches, Tim Kuzma and Coach Erdos. They're both here today. Tim started out my first 2 years with me, and he had this annoying little habit of right before a meet started, either asking me a random question, a riddle, or just giving me some fact that I was thinking about for the rest of the meet. An example is, what's the elf's name in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer who wanted to be a dentist? And then he would walk away. So all meet, that's what I was thinking about. And the great thing, now looking back, that I realized what he was doing was he was creating a distraction, and not all distractions are bad. He wanted me to focus and just let my training and my body do what it was trained to do. And I really appreciate that, Tim, because it's something that I still do today. I remove the distraction and just focus on what I need to do. So thank you very much. And his name is Hermie. I don't want anyone else thinking all the rest of the day what his name is. Next up was Coach Erdos, and he is an institution in the swimming world, for sure. And he never proclaimed to be the best diving coach. But what he did for us on the first day that he took over was he pulled us aside and said, "What do you need to be successful?" Kelly and I, without even batting an eye, said, "A hot tub." We're in swimsuits, and it's in the winter, and it's cold, so he took us down and got that. And he got us new boards, and he pushed for us to have the best that we needed to be successful. And it's extremely important to, to train like that, because what would you do if you had no obstacles? And so thank you, because I really feel that the success I achieved in my career is because of so much of what you instilled in me, so thank you. So those are the coaches, but you really can't have a great team without a good teammate. And Kelly talked a little bit of us getting stomach flu at conferences my junior year and puking every 5 minutes, and me falling on pool deck and her laughing. It's really great to have somebody who's just there for you, who will be there with you. And she gave me the gift of laughter. This sport can drive you crazy. It's a very mental sport. And I could always look at her and we could always find something to laugh about. And to do this with you is a blessing, but your friendship is an even greater one, so thank you. Kelly became family, but my family always stood by me. I have 2 amazing sisters. My little sister can't be here today. It is her 21st birthday, so I have to say happy birthday. She's studying abroad in Spain right now. I'll be visiting in 2 weeks. And she's a junior at the College of Worcester. I know, nobody's perfect. But during my time at Allegheny, she was between the ages of 7 and 10. And it was so great in meets to be able to look up to the exuberance of this little girl who just had a huge smile on her face because her brother was out there and she was so proud. And it's one of those things that I've kept with me in my life. She was always adorned in Allegheny colors. I gave her a picture of her in Allegheny gear when she went to Worcester, just so she remembers where she started. But it's great because it's something that I cherish and hold to my life. Can I enjoy the moments I'm in? Can I really just approach things with that childish exuberance that we have as kids? And because of her, I'm able to do that, so I'm very appreciative. Up next is my big sister, who I think is holding a camera. No, we didn't connect to Casey. We were trying to connect to Europe. We're very international here. My big sister is 1 year older than me and has been by my side my entire life, a constant support. And, I told her right before my senior year of high school, my favorite song was One Moment in Time by Whitney Houston, because I feel like it just motivates me. And so she went and bought me I can't look at you. She went and bought me the CD, and I would listen to it on repeat during meets. And right before our district championships, I was about to start the meet, and I looked up, and she came back from college with the sign that said, "One moment in time," and smiled, and I knew, I'm gonna win. And she was at States, same sign, and I knew I was gonna win. But now I have to ask, where were you at Nationals? 4 silver medals. That sign and you couldn't show up once? Why should I take responsibility? I could blame my big sister, right? So it still applies even at 33. But Heather, you've always been there, and you're here, and thank you so much. Up next, my mother. My mother knows how to really motivate me, and we have a very similar sense of humor. When I started out with diving, she pushed me, but not because she wanted me to be successful, because she knew how badly I wanted to be successful. And when we were in college, and Tim is part of this story as well, my sophomore year was really the year I thought I was going to win nationals. And as we went into the last round of diving, it was between me and a guy named Derek. And so as the meet ended, he did his last dive, and I turned to Tim and said, "We just won nationals." And then the scores came up. And some expletive, I'm sure, slipped out of these lips. And I turned to him and I go, "Are you kidding me?" And that's diving, and that's life. Diving's a very subjective sport, and life isn't always fair. Student athletes, you should write this down. But my mom taught me how to be a gracious winner and a gracious loser. So as I go up to collect my award, and the national awards are trophies, and the color of the medal and the plate are what you got, I get mine, and it's silver, and engraved on it is men's 1 meter first place. Insult to injury. I mean, my mother and I had a phenomenal laugh about that. I had to give it back to them. They were going to mail it to me. I said, "Take your time." But life isn't fair, and still to this day, no matter what, my mother will joke and say, "What do you think Derek's doing?" Or, is Derek in the Hall of Fame yet? So we have this wonderful laugh. She even said it at breakfast today. And it's wonderful and it's motivating. You'll be happy to know he's doing research in the New England area. And no offense to anyone in research, but I work at MTV in Manhattan, so I won. And then just to wrap it up, when we received this great honor, we were asked to fill out a survey. And one of the One of the lines in the survey was, what's your greatest accomplishment, athletic or personal? And it is, without a doubt, my marriage to my husband. You really stand by me, push me, help me continue to stay on the path to be the man I am today. You've given me a phenomenal extension of my family, my in-laws, who are here today to support me, and it means the world to me. Thank you. With you, I know true love, and because of you, I know what real happiness is. So, thank you. To the fellow inductees, it's a privilege. I think, or at least what I heard from Portia say, that we are the best class, past, present, or future. That's kind of how I took it. So I appreciate that honor. We can add that to the plaques later. And thank you. It's an honor to share this pleasure with you. And thank you, everyone, today. Enjoy the beautiful day. This is our sunny weather.